Hello YouTube, it is Zector back with another replay analysis video. Due to very popular suggestion, I'm going to be looking at the ultimates today. A lot of people have been wanting me to look at this team. Before we get into this vid, I just want to say that I am planning on doing a Q&A video pretty soon, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'm also going to be posting a link to my Discord server and all of my other socials in the description. If you'd like to follow me or join my server, please look in the description. But yeah, let's get right into the video. All right, getting into this is Ultimates versus NRG. As many of you know, I really like the NRG roster. I think they've been playing really well. I really like how Daniel has been playing specifically. I haven't watched that much Ultimates gameplay recently, but we'll see what happens. Already Atomic's going to be favorable in this situation over a Chronic. If Chronic tries to beat in this situation, what is going to happen is he's more than likely going to get dunked. If he gets dunked, Beast Mode in this situation is going to get there before First Killer, because First Killer just grabbed mid boost on right in this situation, as we can tell. So because First Killer just grabbed that, it's really important that Chronic doesn't play this super fast. If anything, a 50 would be really good in this situation. It's going to allow LJ to have a very easy support option in the situation. It's going to keep the ball away from a Beast Mode or a Daniel. I actually think a Daniel might come in before Beast Mode. I think Beast Mode might just play that mid because there is a First Killer coming back, and then Daniel is going to play in here as the support after Atomic, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, plays a 50 here. We can immediately tell this is really good. We're already forcing NRG to use boost in this situation while we're preserving our own. That's always a really good thing in this situation. LJ, once again, if LJ plays this quick, he's probably going to be put in not so much of a favorable situation. Daniel is going to be really firmly planted in this position on wall by the time that LJ comes up here. So LJ, once again, what we want to do, play it slow. Playing it slow is going to allow Ultimates in this situation to preserve their boost economy, and it's going to force NRG to use more of those. Let's see what happens. Immediately we can tell, playing it slow. I like this a lot. He's going to play a 50. There's not many offensive options that he'll have in this situation. Also, Daniel, this is a position that I went over in my recent video. I believe it's my Twisted Minds video, but this is a really strong position, and the reason that LJ wants to play it slow is because Daniel has so many options here, and he's already so firmly in this position. So what can happen here if LJ wants to go high? It doesn't fucking matter, because Daniel can sit here and then go high at any point in time. If Daniel wants to take a touch, like a grounded touch, and then go up here, or even come up here and try and go out, like jump off of the wall, that doesn't matter either, because Daniel can either jump from here out, or Daniel can go all the way to ceiling and block off pretty much this entire area right here. But not only that, if LJ says fuck the wall, I want to fake the wall, right, and I want to take a touch here and then cut in, that doesn't fucking matter, because Daniel can just jump down and immediately zone that back here into a Beast Mode, or Daniel can leave and let a Beast Mode come forward. So that is why LJ going fast in this situation would be really fucking stupid. Even if LJ gets past the Daniel, that's not even the most important part. LJ really truly has to get past a Beast Mode if he really wants to get out of defense with his action, or if he wants to get as much value as possible. That's what would need to happen. Let's go ahead and see how he plays this. This is really good already. You can tell he's playing a 50. This is going to be really good. Once again, now Daniel has less boost. Atomic has less boost. There's not going to be many. Okay, First Killer is about to get dunked by a Beast Mode, but you know, I heard Beast Mode jump back there. I knew First Killer just wasn't going to get that timing, as well as him coming in from a really weird angle. But it's not bad for First Killer to go for that necessarily. I definitely don't agree with that. Chronic going to jump, play a touch off a backboard, and then probably play it to right wall. By the time Chronic jumps all the way to backboard, he's going to have around 60 boost to work with. I'm curious. He has 34, so even less than I said, which means he's going to have to play this option all the way in the wall. It would be really beneficial if he tries to play something slow in this situation. Atomic is probably not going to leave. Atomic is either going to try and take that full boost or just play zoning around that area. Now, there is a Beast Mode behind LJ here, right? Because Beast Mode went on the wall in this situation. So Chronic needs to jump as soon as possible, or he's going to die, and that could be not good. Beast Mode's going to take that boost up there. If so, I think Beast Mode's going to take that boost regardless before an Atomic. Beast Mode did take that boost. He's dodging out now. This is fine by Chronic. Honestly, I don't disagree with this at all. This is really well played. We can tell he plays this front flip because he doesn't want to just dodge into the ball. He doesn't even want to just get a touch on the ball. He wants to play this into the bottom of his car so he can slow the ball down as much as possible. This is really well played. I like how this is played. This is not exactly what he wanted. You can see he did that dodge there. I'm guessing he wanted to get the ball to go higher, which would have absolutely been more beneficial. We would have had a first killer or an LJ. I think a first killer. Yeah, a first killer that would have been able to play it if it was higher, but since it wasn't higher, Atomic has a very clear offensive option, and a first killer is going to play the defensive option in this situation, which is once again really good. First killer not going to get something too beneficial out here, but that's okay. We do have an LJ getting bumped off. I like what Chronic's doing here already. I say this in a lot of my videos. This is an excellent example of, sorry, I can't fucking speak today. Holy shit. Anyway, this is really good, and I say this a lot. You don't always have to go fast. You don't always have to be on the ball. A lot of players in the game have this misconception of pressure, where if you're not going for the ball, it's like incredibly bad and you don't have any pressure. That's just not inherently true in every situation. If we have to assume that you always have to be going for the ball for pressure, that's just not it. If you've played any other games, in a lot of different games, just simply being in a position is good enough pressure. Simply having options is good enough pressure. So I don't know if anyone plays Overwatch. I've been top 500 in Overwatch for many seasons, but I'm going to use this as a quick example because it makes a lot of sense. But Zarya, for example, when Zarya has bubble, even just knowing that a Zarya has bubble makes it way easier for her to occupy space. It makes it way easier for her to get into space because of the threat of bubble. It's the same in this game, but with options instead, right? Being in a position with options in this game is really good, and that also adds a lot of pressure. Just simply throwing yourself at the ball willy-nilly doesn't immediately mean you're adding pressure, because it, like, for example, if you go and rush a player like an LJ that was sitting over there in that situation, and he can easily play a 50, that's not fucking pressure. We all saw that from LJ's POV. Did it look like he was pressured in that situation because of what Daniel did? No, he just played a really easy 50 and that was it. So just because you go for the ball doesn't mean you're adding pressure necessarily, or if you are, it is at such a negligible level that it's not even worth noting. But there are, obviously going for the ball does add pressure in some situations, depending on the situational variables. That is the important part. Just simply going for the ball doesn't immediately mean pressure. But in this situation, let's get back to it. Chronic sitting here covers all of Atomic's defense or offensive options here. Anything that Atomic can do, Chronic can cover by sitting back here. And he can cover it the most effectively by sitting back here, right? If we know where an LJ is, and an LJ got bumped off of the ball, he's sitting over here in this situation. So when Chronic sits here, right, Atomic can go this way if he wants to, or this way, or this way, or this way, or pop up high. He can do any of those. But Chronic's playing that distance because he wants to cover all of those options, right? And since he can cover all those options, there's no need to push further forward. But if he does push further forward, he adds additional risk onto LJ in this situation because he wants to play some of these defensive options. So I could agree with a Chronic coming closer here. If there was an LJ more firmly planted back, that would make a lot more sense. But I really like what Chronic is doing here, and I can guarantee that it's going to be favorable. Beast mode is really in this lane, so I could see a beast mode coming forward and playing this instead of Atomic, but we'll see. That's fine, but look at that from Chronic, right? Great example. You don't always have to be moving in this game. You don't always have to be moving fast in this game. This game is a lot slower than you think. I think a lot of people think gameplay is so fast because there's been so many periods of time in the game where it's just been purely mechanical. Some people, I don't think, comprehend how much time you really have in some situations in a game of Rocket League, right? Now, I'm not saying that gameplay is not fast. It's definitely fast, a lot faster than most ranks. But there is a lot of times in where it shouldn't be fast, and it should be dynamic, and it should be slow, right? Because there's a push and pull, there's a wave, a kind of a concept at play in this game where sometimes things are fast and then sometimes things need to be slow, right? Because there's boost. This is a resource game. There's resources in this game. Boost is one of the biggest resources along with positioning. So if you just use a lot of your boost really quick, you can't be sustainable. So sometimes you have to use boost really quick and then slow, right? So like, let's say, doing a really fast solo play over here, and then all of a sudden we need to really slow down the pace of the play. Or we use a lot of boost to get in a really strong position, and then we slow so we can let teammates come forward and occupy space, occupy positions, and get boost. Really, really, really important. Let's continue though.
this is fine. First Killer probably just gonna play a solo play. First Killer loves solo plays. He does it all the time. First Killer plays threes exactly like he plays twos, honestly, and that can be a very good thing and a very bad thing. But you know, we'll see what happens here. We did hear a jump come out from Daniel. Daniel is going to get beat in this situation. People are gonna ask me, how did I know it was Daniel? That's because I know that he rotated out and had prep time in the situation. Daniel is getting beat. I don't really like what I could see. Okay, so here's the thing. First Killer in this situation is not immediately threatening. So there's a couple things that need to happen. Either First Killer, or not First Killer, sorry. Either Daniel in this situation needs to wait a second longer, or maybe even 2 seconds longer before he jumps, or he needs to do a better execution. Yeah, okay. So what we can see in this situation, he did this really ugly air roll, which committed him into going to this direction, because once you put so much momentum in a certain direction, it's really hard to add variations, or at least quick variations to that momentum, because naturally you're going to keep moving in that direction, obviously. Not doing a fucking physics course here. But anyway, what should have happened instead is Daniel, if he wanted to play this situation, he should have played it more vertical. This is also an example in my Twisted Minds video. I think it was from Atomic, where he jumped up vertically because he could cover all those options. That's what Daniel should have done here instead. You can see this forward movement here really affected him, but if he just would have simply jumped up in this situation, he would have been a lot more favorable here. Or if he didn't want to do that, he should have waited a second later before he jumped. So when he should have jumped is like right here instead, or even right here instead. Either one of those he could have been favorable in. He just played it way too quick here. Chronic, this is fine. Chronic's gonna play this low in this situation, which I don't disagree with. Chronic knows there's a player high, so he's just gonna play low. Playing it into that lower player makes it a little bit awkward, especially if Atomic can't get off of wall in time before a support player. This is cool for LJ. This is over to First Killer. I know First Killer is going up because First Killer had boost coming out here, or he just grabbed a boost. So this is really good. I like that. First Killer, once again, just gonna play another solo play. We do have somebody in lane in this situation. Yep, we have Chronic down there waiting. I don't like how Chronic is playing this already. He's playing it really close. He's not giving himself an angle. He's not going to be able to turn in this situation. Let's go ahead and look at what Chronic could have done better. So as soon as Chronic gets and sees that touch out, pushing in here, he doesn't have boost. He can't be sustainable, and there's a Daniel over there. If Chronic would have played out here instead, or out here instead, however you want to picture this angle in your head, he's going to have a lot better of an angle to play a lot better offensive options, whereas anywhere on this path he can deviate at any point in time, right? So if he comes out here, he can deviate here and come in. He can deviate here and come in. He can jump for anything that comes off the wall or up the wall. He can do pretty much everything, right? But yeah, you can see Chronic is really fucking awkward, and when he pushes up here, this is all he can cover, is all of that, right? But all of this is not covered, which is not good. So Chronic probably not going to even be able to get anything on here. Yeah, definitely could have played that a lot better. I like that. Chronic almost almost touched that. There is a player, might get demoed. Okay, that's really weird. LJ's not going to get anything favorable here. He should have played this a little bit slower. I think he was looking to get a beat in this situation, but Atomic was already so incredibly close. This is kind of wishful. I'm not saying that going for beats in this situation is, or in general, off of this wall is bad, but situationally, Atomic is already super close. It would have just been way more beneficial to just get a clean 50. That guarantees him a lot of value, or at the very least, he needs to execute this way better, but Atomic was already so close. I would have agreed with trying to start that beat option if Atomic was coming from a little further back. Then I wouldn't disagree with this as much. Chronic gonna take some time. Beast Mode has a lot of boost here. Beast Mode can immediately bully Chronic. Beast Mode can immediately go and confirm that boost. Beast Mode pushing Chronic here prevents Chronic from competently going for that top left full boost, so maybe Atomic is able to get it, and then Beast Mode plays a challenge. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Chronic kind of got bumped over into it, actually. He got incredibly lucky. Him jumping off here, he's going to go for a beat. We heard a Beast Mode jump just now, so this is really good. I don't disagree with that at all. It looked like he was playing it a little bit slower than he could have, actually, but that's not terrible. I don't really disagree with that. First Killer, once again, playing this playing this solo play. Really odd by Daniel. Yeah, once again, this is, I mean, Daniel just now used a full tank of boost. That was a full tank of boost. Definitely did not like first killer was not immediately threatening. Not immediately threatening. Even if he completely shut down that play, it's just like it was chalked. First killer, probably just gonna play this off a connector in this situation. Doesn't have much. LJ can't do much in this situation because he doesn't have a lot of boost. So, looks like LJ is just gonna come over here. I don't disagree with this at all. If you already have low boost and you're up here, I mean, he does have a chronic, but chronic's kind of far away. I think he's like 5 or 6 car links off of the mid boost. I'm not gonna fucking count out the car links, but he was around that area for sure. But in this situation, LJ's just going to play time here. He has low boost, so he can kind of just sit here and play a 50 if he wants to. He doesn't have to leave immediately. There's no point in leaving immediately. It already looks like he's not going to get a favorable 50. He should have jumped. That was kind of lazy. Could have definitely played that a lot better. Oh, this is something. But I like that. He changed it up completely. Because he actually slowed there, that was really good. I like that a lot. That was brilliantly played. He's going to have a teammate of Chronic. Chronic was already naked, which means Chronic was waiting for a first killer lane, and then he got awkward, and now he's not able to do anything. I already know that's exactly how that happened, because you just don't find yourself in that position otherwise. Yeah, as you can see, just completely naked, and then he ends up getting this really lazy touch. But regardless, even if he got this touch up the wall, he was still probably not going to get anything out of it. Atomic's probably going to get something. I've talked about this a lot, but what Chronic did here is use his turn. This is a turn-based game, right? All players have a turn, and when you do a dodge like this, he is now dodge locked. He can't do a damn thing until this dodge animation is over, which gives Atomic time to close distance, which is why it's important that you don't use your turn if you don't need to, or you don't put yourself in a lock situation like that if you don't need to. First killer should get something favorable there to LJ. LJ probably play a solo play. This is fine. Probably going to beat Daniel in this situation. That's okay. I like that first killer just left that, grabs his boost. That was, hey, I like that. First killer didn't have to use too much boost in that situation. He can just zone this, probably get something favorable here. Yeah, that's fine. Pretty good challenge. Closed off a lot of options there. Daniel over to beast mode. I don't like what LJ is doing immediately. He doesn't need to follow this lane so closely. There's really no point in following this. As soon as this touch comes out, a lot of players in this situation need to know there's a player over there playing any. I guarantee he can play all the way over here. He's not getting this before beast mode. But look, he went all the way over here for no reason. For no reason. So he used all that boost. He used his positioning. Now he's over here for no reason. So this is going to be a lot more awkward for his teammates here. I don't like that LJ is playing low, because first killer is probably going to have a touch on the ball here. What LJ should do is cycle up connector here onto backboard to replace first killer's presence that's being lost on high here. That would be really good. We can already tell that if LJ would have done that, this would have been significantly better. I don't even think LJ gets to this, truthfully. He doesn't, and it's incredibly awkward. But if he just would have went high earlier and noticed, oh shit, that ball's going higher, let me just go high anyway, because you know you don't need 2 players low. I would much rather 2 players high than 2 players low, to be completely honest with you. Now granted, you really should stray away from that, but I would much rather it. I like how first killer's playing that. I don't know what's going on with him. So this was like, I like that he played slow here. He fakes the touch immediately and makes beast mode back off a little bit. Beast mode has to respect that touch so much. Fakes the touch, is playing slow here, plays a 50. This is really good for his team. That's not, no, LJ, no. Yeah, I already figured. See, Chronic in this situation, it's like this touch needs to be way better. But as soon as this happens, oh, LJ, you got to go back as soon as possible, brother. You're just never getting, that's a goal. Yeah, no, LJ definitely did not play that the best in that situation. Oh, I'm drawing everywhere. Let us continue. Playing a back right, very obvious back right. Chronic going to play a high touch here. That's going to be a super high touch. Probably going to already find contact from somebody on energy here soon. Yep, Atomic. Probably, ooh, just barely gets it through. This is going to be really weird. I like that LJ turned off here. That's good. First killer, definitely not exactly what first killer wanted. Beast mode could push out if he wanted to. Daniel's just going to play it. This is, yeah. Oh, well. I like that first killer waited a little bit. That's good. Okay, I really like how first killer is playing in this game. I saw first killer playing in 2s. I really don't like how first killer plays 2s, I'm gonna be honest. But he's playing really well right now, actually. I definitely don't. I mean, he could do, you know, obviously there's stuff he could do better. That's obvious, right? But for what it's worth, you know, I've been typically really disappointed with NA overall. I watch an NA game on my for my channel. I just assume that it's going to be dog shit. But you know, this isn't completely terrible. I mean, obviously I really like the NRG roster, so that's for sure. But oh well, you know, I like what's going on. Yeah, no, Chronic is not getting shit here. He should have already been just prioritizing boost in this situation. Padding. Instead, he just went into dead space. Like, what exactly are we going to do from right here? And then also, like, what exactly are we doing right here? You know, don't go into dead space. This is just Chronic autopiloting a little bit. Really good touch. Beast Mode, going to play this small touch. Beast Mode's either going to follow up after the small touch, or Atomic could go either way. Yep, Beast Mode's going to follow up. I like that first killer didn't just throw his turn. You know, I don't really like what he did here, but I don't necessarily hate it, right? Because he didn't use his turn. He didn't just throw himself at the ball. At least he just went in here. But, you know, some players are like, you know, first killer is pressuring here is what first killer is doing, right? And it's like, in a situation like this, Beast Mode is in such a favorable position that what first killer is doing here is just fucking bullshit. A lot of pressure in this game just comes from unawareness and a lack of knowledge. That's what pressure is. And that's why so many people have this false correlation between players going for the ball mindlessly and pressure, okay? There's not a true cause and effect relationship between those two things, okay? Because you could go for the ball and then not give any pressure. Just because you go for the ball doesn't immediately mean pressure. We kind of already talked about this, but this is a great example of it, where it's like Beast Mode is in such a great position. Beast Mode could have played a 50 there. He didn't even need to play this out into LJ, to be honest with you, right? And LJ's not even gonna get it. So it's like, guys, you know, all the people that are in my comments, you know, I see some that are like, Objector, he's pressuring them, dude. Well, he did all that pressure and it led to fucking nothing, right? Which is, and that's exactly my point. Like, just because you do that doesn't mean that it's good. It doesn't mean that someone should do it. Sorry, I'm looking at Beast Mode. Let's go back here. I actually like what first killer was going for. It looked like he wanted a touch back into Chronic, which would have been really, really good. I like that touch from Chronic. This is okay by Chronic. I don't agree. Like, I don't disagree with Chronic. Even though like it's really close, I don't disagree with this, because this could be really strong if he gets something. I mean, he has the turns backed in order to be able to do something like that. You know, do something a little bit more risky. First killer, once again, he doesn't have a lot of boost, so he's probably not going to play a complete solo play. There's two things that first killer is going to do. First killer is either going to go for a really quick beat on Beast Mode, or he's going to jump up, play slow, play a 50. Yeah, Beast Mode, actually really good decision by Beast Mode just leaving, because first killer was absolutely going to do those things if Beast Mode stayed in that position. But since Beast Mode kind of went out, it's really good that first killer played a pass here. This is really ugly though. Let's go ahead and look at this. This arrow is fucking stupid. Listen, can we stop this? Like, Chronic, this is ridiculous. Now everyone, okay, oh wow. I'll talk about this, but you know, I actually like what Daniel's doing here. This is what he should have done earlier. This is brilliant. To be honest, I don't really like that he's going much higher. He could have just played this position and stuck to it, and this would have been favorable. But then Beast Mode is kind of sniffing Daniel here a little bit. There's no need for Beast Mode to be all up in Daniel's ass in this situation. I think this is what happens when you prioritize those offensive options so heavily and they don't come out. Now you're left in an even worse position than you were before. It's just not fucking worth it, bro. It's not worth it, especially not when you are incredibly confident in that offensive option. Like, if you're not thinking, wow, this is 100% going to be super favorable, and I know it's very likely to happen, before you go into that, then it's just not worth it. I like all of this. This is fine so far. Holy shit. Okay. Chronic going to be the next one to play this. This is fine. Like I said, you know, these positions really strong. I don't disagree with Chronic going up here, even though it did end up going low. In a lot of different situations, what he's doing here is fine. Like, what he's doing here is fine. Atomic definitely could have played it into a Chronic in this situation, so I don't really disagree with this. Really good support by LJ as well. Gonna have a first killer. First killer gets bumped. Beast Mode gonna try and pop up high. If he popped up high, Daniel probably would have been able to go for it, because Daniel does have a teammate on his left in this situation coming back. It's gonna be an Atomic. Atomic is sitting right there, so This is really good by Chronic. I like this, playing that zone really well. First killer could have gotten something really beneficial if he was able to get a touch there. It would have slowed them down significantly, and in this situation, that's exactly what they want because they don't have a really good boost economy. You can tell a lot of players on ultimates not having a lot of boost in this situation. Chronic probably goes for this, and it's not terrible that he goes for it. This could be very strong. We can see LJ's already going to be able to get boost by the time Beast Mode comes out. First killer is about to jump in this situation. If not jump, first killer is going to shadow, and then LJ is going to jump. Yeah. Oh, LJ. Oh. That sucks. Could have definitely secured something there, but oh well. LJ going into this dead space. Yeah, no, he could have already gotten out of that dead space a lot sooner. First killer, this is actually a really good challenge. See, this is what I was saying Daniel should have done earlier. First killer knows that immediately upon Daniel coming off, like, this is not immediately threatening. But, and this is something, you know, I've seen first killer and just a lot of players do in general, like, for the past 5 years. Like, this is nothing new. But jumping right before a player gets that first touch, if anyone isn't aware, when a player gets that first touch, any first touch like that or anything after a dodge, the hardest thing about that is honestly just reading how much power that touch is going to generate off of the dodge. Because if you jump right before they're about to get that touch, they can't immediately get back to the ball. So because they can't immediately get back to the ball, you're oftentimes pretty favorable in a challenge if you time it correctly. And that's exactly what he does here. And you can see it works really well. I'll look at it from Daniel's POV for all of you, but you can see as soon as first killer jumps, it's so fucking hard for Daniel to do anything because first killer timed that so well. You know, this is something I've seen out of first killer for a long time. This is something I used to see out of a peak squishy, to be honest with you. Like, that was definitely really good. I like that. It's going to allow LJ to play here. Beast mode, definitely, yeah. Beast mode knowing he made a mistake there. I actually like that Beast mode kind of dodge. That saved him a little bit of his position. This could be strong. We have a Chronic that can play this. Chronic going to be the next one, likely. Okay, LJ decided to stay, which is fine. Chronic probably play this a little... Okay, yeah, a little bit slower. I like that. That's really good. Gonna play a 50 here. First killer may be able to get a demo on beast mode, which is gonna be really strong. Unfortunate. Wasn't able to get in there as much. I like that touch by LJ. Just force NRG to use boost. You see, I really like what's going on. We can tell NRG is suffering because of it. This is unfortunate. First killer could have put himself in a better situation that would have allowed him to keep this pressure. He turned in really early here. If he would have played this turn like this, you can see it would have been a lot more beneficial for him. He would have had a lot more options. But, you know, it's okay. He's going to play a 50 here. Ends up getting a really good 50. I like that he immediately jumped. That's not what he wanted, obviously, but that could have been very strong, so I don't disagree with that. First kill. This is a bit weird. Very low chance that first killer gets anything out of that situation, but I like the looks they're having for... Oh, that was a good comm. That was a good bumping comm. I like that. Do you have a player? I like that he's going to support. There is a player behind first killer here. Ooh, I like that. It could be good. Ooh, this could still be good. I don't disagree with first kill or LJ going for this, okay? The game is about to be over. This could have been big. I don't give a fuck if he got beat here. That was an excellent thing to go for. Like, that was good, right? And sometimes I feel like, you know, you're going to see me talk about stuff, and they're going to look like similar situations, but the situational variables are going to be different, which is why this is good, but what he did earlier was not, because he did a very similar challenge to that earlier, but it wasn't good back then because he didn't need to be going for stuff like that. But now, I don't really disagree. Oh my God. Wait, we do have a player. Really good jump by Beast Mode, but we still have players that can play that. Unfortunate. One of them should have saved their turn. We'll see how this goes, though. They could still play something favorable here. I know there's no goal in this because I've seen it, but... Oh my God, wait, they're in there. Wait, they're in there. Wait, they're in there. Wait, they're in there! No, they're still in there. No, that was not the best. Oh, okay. No, that was actually kind of big brain. He just executed it poorly mechanically. That could have been really good. First killer would have been able to have offensive options immediately off of that. Also, you know, grats to NRG for not just dropping the ball. I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy. I kind of like this series, or not this series, this game, you know. I don't think this was played terrible compared to like the KCP video that I made. That team is in shambles right now. I really hope they figure their shit out. But yeah, no. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and please comment. I'm gonna have a lot of my socials linked in the description in the upcoming videos, maybe even this video. So make sure that you join those or follow me on other places, and I'll see you guys in the next one.